the African Inside Podcast. Guys, it's January. But what about New Year's resolutions? I don't know if people still make those, but I believe they still do. But for myself, I feel making New Year's resolutions, yes, it could be helpful, but I know what projects I've been busy with the past year, and then I know exactly the progress that I've also made. And I must confess, I have a few deadlines that I didn't make last year. So me making New Year's resolutions, I feel like I need to take into account what I've been busy with the past year and then just continue from that. So the New Year resolution, maybe I can say I have, is probably to be more healthier and then to be more present and more active in everything that I'm trying to do. So I don't know, what are your New Year's resolutions? What do you think about the whole setting of New Year's resolutions?
Personally, I'm not necessarily a big fan of New Year's resolutions because of, I think in general, like you said, an individual already knows what they want in life and the things they want to achieve. So usually it's just picking up from things I've already been doing in the previous year. So just basic things like getting in better shape, saving and investing more money, improving my relationships, and just overall, I think also going out more and creating more memories with people. I think that's something that a lot of people like to overlook.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think,
Ethan sounds like he's living his best life. Are creating a more good relationship with my people. That's so nice. For me, when coming to New Year's resolution, I don't really believe in that. It's more like you're saying New Year, new me. And you can never really be the new you. You are still the same you, but maybe you're running your life differently. But with me, I believe in setting goals, which I feel like it interacts to what you just said right now. They do go together. We did set goals last year, obviously. I usually give myself like 10 goals, and then I keep on ticking. Getting in good shape, tick. Study, tick. Maybe getting a short course, tick. Getting a car, tick, But if those are not happening, they didn't happen the previous year, and then you start again at the beginning of the year, you note them down again from scratch. Obviously, some of them, they will be out of the list, but then with the new year, you might get some new goals. Yeah. I feel like, again, it's a powerful move to do if you are a progressive person. Me, I'm progress orientated. If I don't see progress, then I feel like I'm not doing anything. So because I'm progress orientated, I need to see. But the other thing, again, is to also put some deadlines into it. Putting on some deadlines is very important.
Yeah, being able to evaluate how far you've come and being able to also evaluate your progress. I think that's one important thing. And then also with resolutions, like you're saying, it really is about setting certain goals. And then also setting those goals is also about making moves to achieve those goals and then actually going forward to progress with whatever goals that you have set. So that's just about it.
Coming back on what you said about deadlines, I don't remember who said this quote exactly, but I think it was Elon Musk, where he said that if you give yourself, let's say, 10 months to achieve a goal, you're likely going to achieve it in 10 months. If you give yourself 6 months to achieve a goal, you're likely going to achieve it in 6 months. So then he said that it's very important that you, in a way, give yourself strict deadlines so that you don't end up wasting a bunch of time.
Direct deadlines.
Exactly.
Hence, there's short-term goals, medium-term goals, and long-term goals.
Exactly.
And then the other thing that you just mentioned right now, PC, it's about evaluating, which goes back to reflecting. Very important. Most people don't sit themselves down and reflect on the things that they have done so that they can know, okay, I've been planning. I gave myself a goal in 2025 to do this, and then I've done it, but I didn't do it to the extent that I want to go. You see,
I didn't accomplish.
You didn't accomplish fully. Exactly. And then that also leads to how people get to have like time by themselves, quality time by themselves, which is very important. I believe that's another topic we need to talk about.
Yeah, and then Ethan mentioned something about going out more often. I felt a little bit ill last year, and then I discovered that my sickness was also due to the fact that I was not going out enough, not being exposed to the sun.
And you were
Not
overworking
socializing.
yourself.
Yeah, it can lead you to overthinking, it can also lead to depression and anxiety. So going out more often and then also cultivating more relationships, I think that is what people should set as their New Year's
resolutions. Yes. And not overworking yourself, guys. Not overworking yourself. It's you saying that I'm going to work from this time to this time. Hence, there's routines. And then when you know you're working from this time to this time, after that, you have your me time. Remember, that body that you're using to work, it's the body that you're going to need it again tomorrow. But if now you are overdoing things, then which body are you going to use to work? You see?
Because fatigue is real.
Yes, fatigue is very real. So rest, it's very important.
Exactly. And I think also having a quality rest. Because I think also something that a lot of us fall into is thinking that just because we're sitting at home watching TV or scrolling on our phone is resting. When in reality, I actually discovered that it's not actually productive rest. Because of the fact that apparently when you're always on your phone scrolling, watching TV, your brain's still always like processing and running a bunch of things in the background. Whereas they said that actual quality rest is like when you just, let's say, just take time to, let's say, just even lie on the couch, but not watch TV. Just maybe like stay at the ceiling and think about this thing that you've done. Or maybe even like just reading a book. Just things that are not intense, but still stimulate the brain slightly. Or even stuff like meditating, prayer if you're religious, reading the Bible, etc. Just stuff that calms your mind and helps you relax.
And then also getting good quality sleep.
Yes,
that is a very important one.
8 hours, guys. 8 hours.
Exactly.
And with sleep also, certain substances, they deprive you of good quality sleep, like alcohol. Because when you've consumed alcohol, when you get in bed, you are not asleep yet. Your body is still trying to overcome the effects of alcohol. You're only going to start quality sleep once your body has sobered up from the alcohol.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Not sleep same time when you consumed alcohol and then you go to bed.
There's a specific alcohol I've been having during festive. Oh, guys, I was sleeping after drinking that. I was like, I will be dead. And then the next day I'll be thinking of it. And I'm a very light sleeper. I find troubles sleeping. But that alcohol, guys, I'm not promoting alcohol, but I'm just saying sometimes it depends.
But the thing is, it's not the thing is it's not necessarily a quality sleep like you were saying, because usually, for example, you go to bed, you may feel like you're asleep, but in reality your body's still running in the background trying to rehydrate you, your liver's still running trying to process the alcohol and get you out. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's scientific. And then talking about alcohol, I feel alcohol consumption in this country is a little bit worrying because in December, between the 25th of December until the 31st of December, every day 1 billion rand was spent on alcohol. South Africa. Yeah, and the whole issue on alcohol consumption in this country is a little bit worrying, guys, because from the 25th of December to the 31st of December, 1 billion every day was spent on alcohol.
Yeah.
So someone else would say, no, it's good for the economy. But then what does it say for our social fabric? Because we, in a country, that we have quite a number of social issues. And some of these social issues, they can be stemming from the whole
from the alcohol consumption.
Alcohol.
Exactly.
The gender-based violence. Sometimes people or couples, they get a little violent when they've consumed alcohol. And then you also have problems with car accidents when we are in the festive season or during holidays. That is also as a result of alcohol consumption. And then also just the whole wellness of a person. Because I think we are in a country that many people are not mentally fit or not mentally well.
Childhood trauma.
That is also as a result of the substance abuse. Because substance abuse, it can lead to depression, it can lead to anxiety, and it also leads to addiction. Generally, because someone who's been consuming alcohol, for the longest time, you end up feeling like, well, I know for myself, I have a very addictive personality. Once sometimes I get it started, I just don't want to stop.
Let me tell you something.
I feel that is why it is also important to look at it from that angle of sort of creating or bearing a lot of addictions. Yes.
Talking about 1 billion, this is the reason why I don't believe that people don't have money. Is it 1 million or 1 billion?
1 billion.
Imagine.
Every single day.
That much. So I don't believe that South Africans, to be specific, don't have money. People have money, guys. Even if some of us, we don't know how to spend our money, but people have money. And then now talking about the wellness, and I feel like other people, they rather go and consume the substances, to be specific, alcohol, than to face their demons.
Oh,
True.
They rather just go,
Yeah, exactly.
especially men. Let's not be personal though, but I feel like men, they rather go and drink than facing what they're dealing with in life.
I think it could be harder for men to face the issues, mainly due to the fact that I think men typically have fewer emotional support systems compared to women. And I think that's mainly because of the problem that we don't usually like talking about our problems.
Why?
You get what I'm saying?
Why don't you like talking?
I think it's because of how, I guess, society has structured the way men should act. Like, I think society has structured men to, in a way, be, I guess, represent the idea of always knowing what to do and always having things figured out.
Yeah, and being self-sufficient.
Exactly.
Like the whole idea of masculinity. That
Oh,
men
yes,
don't cry,
yes.
men are powerful, so men can do all of
Exactly.
these things.
Men make the decisions.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you can still choose not to follow all those.
True. You can choose not to follow it, but then at the same time, you still will face the critique of society. You get what I mean?
People will always talk.
That's true.
One thing for sure, whether you're doing something good or bad, or you're following whatever that they're saying, they will always talk.
True. I think obviously that's why, even though you know that there's people who are gonna critique you, I think it's also very important to find that circle or even one person who you'll be able to have, I guess, that healthy masculinity around, where it'll actually be glorified. Because I think one of the worst things that as society we do, not just to men, but I think good people in general, is when we don't treat good people the way they should be treated, like not rewarding them for their kindness and their nice efforts, and I think that in a way will end up making them transition into either not being good anymore, possibly even being evil, because the fact that they realize what society doesn't care about them whenever they're being good, exactly.
Yeah. And then also the issue on addictions, because alcohol is addictive, and a lot of people find themselves in depression and anxiety because of alcohol addiction. And then there are many other different types of addictions. I met someone in December who told me that they were addicted to gambling. They're always gambling that way on their phone, whatever the platform is. And this person has spent more than 500,000 in gambling. That is the amount of money that they've blown in gambling.
Like all time.
Yes. Like I think there is something that happened over a couple of years. So he was actually getting assistance for that kind of an addiction. So there are many different types of addictions. And this thing of addiction, it is because of underlying issues. There are certain underlying issues. The people who are going through addiction are trying to hide, some childhood traumas here and there, or maybe some tough situations that people do not want to face. Other people, sexual addiction, gambling addiction,
like me trying to run away from my sleeping problem, and then I drink alcohol because I sleep better after I drink alcohol. The specific one.
Exactly.
Yes.
I think also touching back on what you're talking about gambling, I think especially with him, I'm not sure what type of background he's from, but I also learned that people typically like indulging in, let's say, gambling and stuff like that, because it in a way makes them feel like they're taking themselves out of poverty indirectly. Even though we all...
It's another way of making money.
Exactly. So like, for example, even though we all know that statistically, in the long term, you're going to lose from gambling. In a way, people get addicted to that because of, I guess, your brain registers the feeling that me doing this and the potential for me to win big means that I'll be able to get out of poverty, even if it's not something they think about directly, but it's a subconscious thing, you know, and because most of addictions are subconscious. Because even most people are addicted, they know they're addicted, but they still participate in it because it's of their subconscious mind.
Yeah, no, that's the hard reality of
Yeah,
it.
it is.
Through all these different addictions, that's when you're gonna find yourself in depression and in anxiety. So I think this year, what people need to take really seriously is their mental health, and then also certain habits. We also need to be mindful of our habits so that we don't have certain habits that are going to lead us into addiction, and then addiction resulting into depression and anxiety. Because a whole lot of depression and anxiety that we see in our people or people in our society, it does stem from addictions. You know, it does stem from different habits, because the way we think, the way we feel, and then it ends up becoming a certain behavior, you know, a habit that we live on. So part of New Year's resolutions, I feel it should really be mental wellness. It should also be mindfulness. Looking at whatever habits you have, just try to make sure that you run away from addictions as far as possible. Or run away from situations that can result in addictions, because we really need to take off of ourselves, guys.
Yes, we do.
Moving forward.
We do. And I feel like people need to make time to spend quality time with themselves. Because we always are running to people. When I'm sitting by myself, I feel like, you know what, it's the end of the world. Let me call Sbanban. Let me call Sbanban. Let me go where. Why don't you just sit and look into your life? I feel like if we do that as human beings, then we will know our places and we will learn more about who we are. Hence, I feel like the biggest problem when coming to those depressions and anxiety, even if they are being caused by some other things sometimes, but childhood trauma. Let's look back, ask questions, because sometimes you feel like you didn't grow up. And also visions will come back to you. This is what was happening when I was growing. Was it the right thing? Am I supposed to practice it right now? Is it good? Is it good for my environment? You know? So most of us, we are running away from that. And then we pin it on other people. We pin. That's when now we're spreading the toxic energy.
Exactly.
Yeah, and also, you know, with childhood traumas and everything else, I think what's important, I know we have different experiences, and then some traumas are more severe than others.
Yes,
but I always say forgiveness is key.
You start by forgiving yourself. Yes.
Yeah, you start by forgiving yourself. And once you've forgiven yourself,
you are able
to forgive everyone that is around you.
Exactly.
Because you cannot live life at the age of 29. You are still angry because u-Auntie Pinky kwathengela abantwana abanye idofile
mina banganithemeli
resentment from Auntie Pinky. So also some of depression and anxiety that we see,
they're caused by that.
It is because people are unforgiving. And I know, as I said, we have different experiences. Some are severe than others, and I don't mean to sound insensitive, but I really believe that through forgiveness and through giving yourself time and just overcoming and letting go of whatever traumas it is, we are also becoming better people.
Yes.
Exactly. And also touching on the fact that how you said how forgiveness is the first step and is extremely important to overcoming the childhood trauma that you faced. I think what most people get wrong is they first try and fix the solution first while still having that resentment towards their mom, dad, or brother.
How are you going to fix while you are still the one who's broken? You're trying to fix something that is broken, but you are broken yourself.
Exactly.
Fix yourself. It starts with you.
Exactly. You still have that mental friction going on. That's going to prevent you from even, I guess, taking the next step forward. Makes sense?
Yes. No, it does. So as we enter in the new year, resolutions might not be that important, but you know, our outlook in life makes a whole lot of difference.
How you want your future to be,
especially if you're gonna make the decision to let go of whatever things that happened in the past, because the past has a way of sort of
coming
holding
back.
us back. Yeah, it has a way of holding us back. No, I grew up not having confidence on myself. So I'm not gonna start doing anything this year, or anything that I'm gonna try to do. I'm not going to do it with that confidence or with that faith of knowing that I'm going to succeed.
Exactly.
With me, I'm very grateful for the environment that I grew up in. As much as most of the things that I did traumatizing in my life, they didn't happen to me, but to the people around me. And I'm very grateful that God gave me the wisdom to actually learn from them. I didn't wait for that to happen to me so that I can learn, but I was looking with understanding, trying to see whether is that going to be good for me. Is it going to work for me? If I practice it, because now I'm looking for it's more like I'm watching TV. Hence I love watching movies. I'm a very visual person. So the people around me, they taught me a lot. So I didn't wait for a lot of things to come for me to experience them, but I was just seeing them from a distance, and I'm like, that one is a no. Oh, this one is a right. External people also, even friends, even grandmothers, my aunts, my sisters, my father, people, even at school, teachers, all the time I'm open to learning.
Exactly.
Learning through observation.
Hence I'm saying I'm a very visual person. If I zoom, I capture, which is one thing that my father taught me growing up, to observe and analyze and then start now practicing. You don't just do things, start by observe, analyze, and then do.
Exactly. And all those things will lead you to become the person that you want to be.
I want to be.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I think also, I also heard this amazing quote where someone said, whenever you're about to make a decision, think about whether or not this decision will be made by the person you already want to be.
Yes.
So, for example, let's say there's just a cute girl or guy that you want to talk to, that you really want to get their attention, and you just want to maybe go out there and say hi. Instead of usually being nervous or not saying anything, think, what would the best version of me do? The best version of me would probably just go out there, say hello, hi, then hear what they have to say.
Oh, nice.
And even when it comes to everything else, just the way you carry yourself and the way you dress, try to act like the person you want to be. Because with time, you're eventually going to be that person.
You make it.
No, it's not necessarily fake it until you make it.
Face it until you make it then, I guess so.
I just think it's just a matter of evolving and getting better. Because being fake is when you're acting like someone you don't want to be. But if you actually want to be that version of yourself, then you're not necessarily faking it. You're just changing the way you are. You understand?
Maybe we can also look at it as a way of manifestation. If you aspire to become someone, then you need to try, or you need to start behaving as that person.
Exactly.
You aspire to become an entrepreneur, and then you need to start manifesting that today, having business ideas, making those business moves, taking action towards achieving that goal. So it really is about manifestation.
And affirmation.
Exactly. Because even when you think about it, whenever, let's say, for example, you want to get good at something, usually at the beginning, you're doing what a professional would do, just on a lower level. You guys are doing the exact same action, but you're just doing it on a lower level. So let's say you want to get good at, let's say, playing guitar. You'd practice every day, just like how the professional practices every day. You understand? So you're basically just behaving like the professional, just on a lower scale. You understand?
Putting yourself in that position.
Exactly.
To actually get lucky and to also succeed.
Exactly.
Practicing that.
Talking about practice and succeeding, I seen this guy was trending over the first day. Did you guys see him? IShowSpeed in Africa.
Oh yeah.
I show what?
IShowSpeed.
I show. What is that guy about?
So basically,
we live in an age of influencers and people just experimenting with different things. So I'm thinking you're talking about IShowSpeed.
No. I like literally learned about this guy from my son. He's always watching him on YouTube, and I'm like, this guy, and he's very active. Hence, I aligned him with practice and succeeding, because he keeps on practicing things. Him also coming to Africa, I guess it was one of his goals that I'm gonna go to Africa, and he didn't only just come to South Africa, he went to multiple countries in Africa, and he's doing the things, man. He's doing the things.
And I think there was even one of the videos where I think they asked him, why are you traveling around and stuff like that, and he said that his personal reason for traveling around was because of he wanted to give his viewers who couldn't, let's say, afford to do the things he does, an experience of the things that they could possibly do in the
So
future.
what exactly does IShowSpeed do? Because I've never heard or never even seen this.
So
We should show you.
Quite a good
no,
YouTuber.
so basically, I believe that IShowSpeed is a 20-year-old streamer, and he usually creates YouTube videos and also like streaming content. Basically, streaming is just him showcasing his life. So, for example, here and there, let's say he'll be playing video games, or let's say he'll get like someone who's popular on his show, and then they'll just like have conversations and exchange topics, and then sometimes just show you what he does during his day, like just like how right now he's just traveling and stuff like that. So he's just basically showing you a preview of what he does during the day in his life. And I think the reason why it catches so many people's attention is because of a lot of people find him funny because of like the crazy stuff he does, like he'll sometimes like just bark out of nowhere, which is out of the ordinary.
Yes, I saw one of his videos. He was dancing to Amapiano music, and I'm like, this guy is so fun.
He's
Trying new things, you know.
But he doesn't do anything extraordinary.
Specific.
He just shows his day in the life. Okay, this is what he does.
And he also seems very authentic because he doesn't always dress perfectly. Like he'll just come out
He's always himself.
He's you like this. He's me like this.
Exactly.
Comfortable.
Exactly. It doesn't seem like he's trying to give off this persona. Like he doesn't flex, he doesn't show off anything. No, it just seems like he's just being so
You
authentic
wouldn't
self.
even see him. You wouldn't even see that he's a popular someone coming across him. He will just be an ordinary person when you come across him. I saw one of the videos. They said he beat one of the Botswana runners. Number one Botswana runners, and then he beat him on his own game.
Oh yeah, but apparently in that race, the Botswana runner tripped, so we can't necessarily say that it's a legit win, official win.
A win is a win, regardless. That means that Botswana runner was careless. Why did he trip? You need to check your space before you start running.
But I mean, you also need to remember that it was an informal race, so I guess not necessarily all factors.
But if he's a professional runner, then he must be ready all the time, forever ready.
Not necessarily, because I've also seen that some professional athletes, even when they race against like YouTubers and locals just for fun, they usually don't like run at full speed and stuff like that, and that's just to avoid
them
injuries.
win.
Not necessarily. Sometimes also just to avoid injuries. Like like for example, like putting all your effort can cause the risk of you getting injured.
But isn't the debt going to affect your profession in any way?
Not really, because of most people don't really care about what you do outside of the Olympics.
But it's captured. Look at me now. To me, he doesn't look like someone who's a number one.
Okay, maybe.
So now I'm taking IShowSpeed and put him at his spot.
Yeah, but to, I guess, outside watchers. But I think obviously people who watch the professional Olympics, they don't necessarily say that because it won't be an official thing, if it makes sense.
Okay, so since IShowSpeed is in the country, what is he going to do? Is he going to perform at a concert? He's just roaming the streets and then
he's just experiencing everything.
He's just experiencing. It's just like a day in a life in Africa type of a thing. Okay. Like me right now, I can travel to America and be traveling all the countries in the US.
Oh, okay. So he's actually going to show how his experience of visiting South Africa or Africa is. Oh, okay. So it is another way of creating content, but in a different environment
for him, in an authentic way.
Yeah, because I thought maybe he'd be performing somewhere. Maybe he goes IShowSpeed. IShowSpeed. And then I was so disappointed over the festival. I was not disappointed, but actually I was disturbed by the news because I was supposed to attend a concert in Johannesburg where Makhadzi was supposed to perform. Okay. But unfortunately, on the 25th, was it the 25th of December?
25th, yes.
Yes, she had an accident while she was traveling from Limpopo coming to
Johannesburg.
Doesn't she have a driver?
No, I think she has a driver, but the whole experience of being
who was driving?
I'm not sure who was driving, but all I know is they were involved in a car accident, and then she ended up in hospital, which had to stay there for a couple of weeks. But I think she's discharged now.
Yeah, she's fine.
It just shows the road safety in our country, that sometimes roads are really not safe in this country. We experienced that when I was also driving along the N3 going home to Free State. At a certain point, a driver overtook me.
Yeah.
And then after that, he didn't even give himself enough space of enough following distance to change lanes and come in front of me. You know, after he overtook, immediately just came in front of me, and we're driving at 120, 140
Yo,
on the
yo.
A3 highway. So I've had to hit almost like a dead brake, so then I wouldn't bump into this person who just, you know, cut in front of me after he overtook. So it's a really serious problem, and I think it's something to be spoken about.
Yeah, it
road
is.
safety in our country,
It
and then
is.
also the driving style, basically, because I feel many accidents could be prevented, or many accidents are not supposed to be occurring in the first place. But the problem is when people are driving, sometimes they forget the basics of just keeping themselves safe on the roads. Because another problem is with the safe following distance. I see this a lot. People do not maintain that good
The distance.
following.
Yeah, exactly. Like you find like another driver, like literally like right here. Exactly.
And you know, when you're cruising at 120 or 140, so if anything happens and then this person is right behind me, he's not gonna have enough
He's not
space to
reaction
brake.
time,
He's just going
exactly.
to brake. There's going to be a serious collision. So I feel road safety is something we should always discuss, and it is something that should always be looked at, not only over holidays, but also
All
you know,
the time.
all the time, so that
All
people
the time.
are aware of road safety tips. Like keep a safe following distance, and then drive at a speed that you can manage, because anything can happen anytime.
Exactly.
You know, when you're on the road, when you're driving a cow out of nowhere, you are very engaged in the lane. So you need to be cognizant of the fact that anything can happen anytime. And then whatever speed you are traveling on, it doesn't matter whether it's a Ranger, Raptor you are driving, or some C63 or some sports car. Yes, it really doesn't matter the power of your car.
This is actually the reason why I don't like driving. Oh, if there's one thing that I don't like doing, guys, is driving. Driving gives me, I don't know, I have to channel myself all the time. I remember, so I started driving full time last year, and then now I remember the people around me, they had like to calm me down all the time. Think about what, do this, do that, because I don't like it at all. I always believed that I have to be driven because I'm a lady. You know, but remember, those are one of the things that I need to work on as one of my goals, that I must be driven, I must have a chauffeur. That means I must work hard. But then now, talking now about road safety stuff and everything, I always make sure that I channel myself when I get into a car. Seatbelt number one, check the mirrors. You know, those are the tips that I have been given, and also at the traffic department, you know. But then now, I remember one time I was driving. So I was driving every day the highway from Johannesburg to Pretoria. Imagine that, with all my anxiety. But I managed to do it. So I'm driving on the highway there by Sandton, Bryanston. There's an off-ramp, and then there's a bus that once it comes to this lane, but it needs to come to this lane because it's going on N1. A bus overtakes, another bus comes. They want to overtake us, guys. I'm like,
the bus is trying to overtake.
Buses are over. My car, Toyota Vets, very small.
Very small, yes.
They just come. I'm like, oh my God. I wanted to cry all the time. But what you're giving me, what you're saying about the space and everything, sometimes you're not so much in control, because if you're giving that space all the time, they're just going to come in.
They take advantage of you.
Yeah, they take advantage of you.
Yeah.
They're just going to come in. I remember also the other day, there's a truck behind me. This truck wants to overtake. And I'm like, nigga, be patient. It's a traffic. Be patient. And then now I'm driving. He's like bumper to bumper with me. And I'm like, I'm not going to move for you. This road is for all of us. He moved. He overtook me. Guess what did he do after overtaking? He came in front.
That must have
And I think
the experience.
Because I also see it a lot on the N3, you know, trucks they tend to overtake each other. And it shouldn't be the case, because both trucks are actually driving at a low speed. And the whole thing with trucks, we're not supposed to be having so many trucks on
the road.
if our rail system was working. But now what they did is they dismantled the rail system, so we no longer have goods that are being transported by rail. So that's the reason why we're having so many trucks on the road.
Exactly.
So yeah, it is also that dismantling of the railway system. I just wish they could find a way of also fixing that, so that there's going to be less trucks on our roads.
Coming back to your experience and what he also said, I think this also shows how you could be a perfect driver. And you could still end up being in trouble.
There's other people that you're driving with, then you are unable to actually...
Exactly. It makes you hard. Like, and this goes back to what we were saying about treating people well, treating good people well, in order to reinforce that behavior. It's like, for example, if you're being a good driver, and now by you following the rules, keeping the space, and now everyone's taking advantage of you,
and
are you going to want to continue to be a good driver?
They are good drivers. I've seen them.
Exactly. And now, when you experience all those things, are you still going to be driving perfectly?
You know, with me, I just told myself it's for my own safety, so I just have to continue, regardless of who. One thing about me, I'm not a follower. I do what I do for me. It's not about you. It's not. I do things for me. You know, and then talking about the road safety in the streets, public drivers, taxi drivers, people are dying because of their neglect. One driver bumped me on my friend. I will never forget that taxi. Yellow taxi. I have it in my head. No, it wasn't the old school ones.
Oh, Venture.
And the
Oh, okay.
The other time there was an accident, like a taxi, I don't know what did it bump, and then tons of people died there.
Yeah, public transport is also...
Yes, so you must be...
Exactly.
Because the problem with these people is, especially the taxi owners, sometimes they do not service their cars. And then sometimes
that's another
cars are not roadworthy, but just because this person is trying to make money, and then they just release that car to go transport people.
Exactly.
And then that puts people in so much danger or at risk of being involved in car accidents, because on road where it takes it, there is no telling when it is going to break down, and there is no telling when it might not be able to perform the way that it is supposed to on the roads. So yeah, guys, transport is another issue.
It's a very big issue. The stationary cars, they will just... Because now you are not maintaining that distance, and then a car doesn't want to move anymore. You see, that's where an accident occurs. Because now my car doesn't want to move. You are not behind me. You are not maintaining that space.
Yeah, and I was supposed to be away this weekend. I was actually planning to go to Rustenburg. Yeah, but then I noticed it's okay. There's that ANC rally.
The rally.
Probably the town is going to be
packed. Yes.
So I just decided to postpone my trip to some other time. And then with this ANC rally, I don't know.
Guys, that's where they chop the money.
Yeah, okay, they're meeting this week, and I was listening on news during the week. They were commemorating Joe Slovo's death. It was a Tuesday or sometime then. And then the president was also making a speech, and then also the South African Communist Party. So I really liked the way that these guys approached the president, especially this guy from SACP, because he was talking about the workings of our political leaders, that we've seen many news, on corruption and all of that. And what the president has done is he has started all these commissions, and aren't any consequences.
Results.
Commissions.
Yes.
So the SACP guy even went to the extent of saying, if these commissions were working, even our president is supposed to be arrested for certain things. So it just shows that the reason that should be keeping our president awake at night, that should be making our president sleepless, it's not so much on unemployment, but it is more on corruption. It is more on corruption because as we speak, South Africa is standing at 58.5%, I believe, with unemployment. Yes. And then at the same time, we always hear news on corruption issues. There are people who are getting tenders around the area of billions and 100 millions. So it is this wealth that is supposed to be distributed equally. to all the citizens of the country, but it's not happening.
It's not.
It's just
It's
going
not.
to those few top people who are there. So unemployment and poverty, I don't think it is our reality. It is just the distribution of wealth and, of course, the greediness of our leaders. So I just wish, in this new year, we could hear better news. In this new year, we could also have better leadership.
And this may sound also controversial as well, but I don't know if you guys heard the CEO of Capitec claimed that the unemployment rate might actually be significantly lower than it really is. Because I think right now unemployment for everybody considered around 35%. But then the Capitec CEO claimed that it could be around 10% or even less. Because he said that you see that, remember, Capitec runs around 24 million bank accounts.
Yeah.
So that's a significant number. That's around a third of the population, general population, and maybe potentially half of the workforce. Right? So he claims that there's a large number of people who are earning more than 10,000 a month.
Definitely.
Like every month they say
Definitely.
and they believe that it's usually formed by the informal sector. So they believe that the unemployment rate is being boosted significantly because of the fact that they're taking consideration the unemployment sector, which makes sense because it's also obviously hard to manage things that are uninformal than unregistered.
I feel like all these events that the ones that are chopping our money, guys. All these events, these unknown events, like this one that is happening this weekend, most people don't even know about it. But no wonder how much they spend on that, which is the money that they must be distributing on job creations. That's where we get to look into small businesses. Guys, small businesses, they need funds to actually create the jobs, because that's our last hope right now, especially after we experienced this what is it called, COVID. After the COVID pandemic, it changed our life. If you can take a close look, a lot of people since COVID, they invested in their small businesses. And then that's why now we need to rely more on the small businesses to create job creations more than this other formal works that we used to, because most companies, they retrenched. Then most people, they lost their jobs. People are working from home. People are working remotely. Even the property business is no longer going so well commercially because of what? The companies are no longer owning companies. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like these monies that they're busy hosting these events with, those are the monies that need to be invested into the small businesses, so that we can create a job. Look at our graduates. How many graduates do we have that are unemployed?
It's a very
big number.
I never thought I would see a day when doctors would be striking.
Imagine.
It is what happened last year. The time the doctors were striking, unemployment, they're not getting jobs and all of that. So it is a crisis. It is a crisis we are sitting on. I think unemployment should be a national disaster. And once it's made a national disaster, there needs to be such an intervention.
I vote for that. A national disaster, yes.
And then also when we're going to give an opportunity to young people. Because, young people like Ethan, young people like Abu Tunduzi and the like, they have very great ideas. But it's just with the way our corporate
the structure,
the structure of the economy. They want you to have 10 years experience. And
when am I going to get the 10 years? Oh my God!
And then on the job, and if the ideas you have are actually going to be innovative and then push the company forward. Because at FAB, they reward their employees for whatever ideas that they come with. The whole e-wallet thing was an idea that was proposed by the employee. And I think he ended up opening his own section within FNB that deals with e-wallet. So it just shows
very fascinating.
That we give an opportunity to young people to be innovative. And then also a message to young people, because sometimes we tend to want to do everything online. You want to apply for jobs online. You want to find opportunities
going
online.
direct.
Sometimes just go out there and go knock at those doors.
And demand for the manager.
Go knock at those doors. Because once you take the initiative, I believe even if there isn't an opportunity at the time, you can go But for the fact that they see you coming here,
yes, your confidence, the presentation,
and they can create an opportunity
for you. Thank you.
And then also not being afraid to get our name stage, guys. You know, we all need to start somewhere.
Yeah,
we cannot start as producers of big TV shows. We cannot start in the corner office, but then we all have to start somewhere.
Corner office.
We all have to start somewhere. You know, if I can recount my work experience in different industries and different companies at a very, very low level. You know, I've built petrol and garage. I've worked at McDonald's. I've worked at Spur. I've worked at.
Have you volunteered?
I've volunteered before.
Very important.
I did through volunteering in Soweto. When I was still in Soweto, I did a project in local high schools, you know, training students on career guidance and also giving them some motivation. After that activity of volunteering, even the Department of Physical Education recognized and noticed what I was doing. And then they invited me, they offered me training as a licensed career guidance practitioner. And then after that, I got a job at a certain high school.
You see, that's why it leads to
volunteering. So we also need to go out there as young people and try to create opportunities for ourselves and not just rely on online jobs or online opportunities or anything.
I see. Talking about, sorry for that, talking about online, I believe Ethan wants to talk more about the online thingy. But before we get there, can I just tell you guys about how important skills development are in the day and age that we're living in? Skills development. Remember, people, we are taking it for granted, but remember, we are human beings and we have talent and we do things growing up. But then because of the system, you get to school and you forgot what are you good at. You know, that might be your worth. You know, you just need to nurture it, develop the skills, develop it or train it, take it further. You know, and then that's where your next million is. But because the system says you must go to school, primary school, high school, university, and then get a job. Who's going to give you a job?
And I think
Who's going to give you a job?
And I think that's the beauty of the internet.
Yes. The beauty of the internet. Yes.
To be able to learn, do online courses, look at tutorials that may be long, around 12 hours. And they will give you guys some skills that allow you to earn high salaries and eventually start your own business and actually become huge. So I think that's the importance of
the AI. And then, you know,
I read somewhere about AI because, you know, the internet assisted many people, you know, to succeed and created many millionaires.
Yes, it does.
So, the AI, I read somewhere that with artificial intelligence, it's going to create more millionaires in the next 5 years than the internet has ever done.
Remember.
So, but I think artificial intelligence is also something that we can take advantage of, and then it is also something that we can look into, you know, understand artificial intelligence and also understand how artificial intelligence is applied.
Remember,
in your industry.
Which is what I want to talk about. Artificial intelligence, it's about the industrial revolutions. So remember, 4II was the one that was so popular in South Africa, to be specific. So it didn't start with 4II. It started from the beginning. So there was 1II, 2II, 3II, 4II, 5II. There's going to be 6, 7, 8. Probably in China, they're there already. 7, 8, 9, 10. So hence, artificial intelligence is the industrial revolution. It's how we get to be revolutionized. I said it.
But what does it mean?
It means development. It means evolving from one stage to another. Yes. So we are evolving each and every day, and technology, digitalization is the route that we are going as human beings right now, because we want convenience, because we want things to be easy, because we want things to be simplified. You know,
but you know the thing with artificial intelligence and technology and whatnot. Would you, when you are sick and then you need an generation, would you rather have a robot performing
Hence, I always say, as human beings, as much as we have these industrial revolutions, we always don't have to forget that they will never replace us. Yes, they will never, I'm saying it again, never and never again, replace the human touch. You know why? Because we are the ones who are creating them. So we are still in control. You know, even though there's movies and some content online that people who are creating these robots, sometimes they don't get to be so much in control to a point that the robots are taking over. But I stand on it. As human beings, the humanity in us can never be replaced by the Industrial Revolution.
I think the reason why a lot of people have this assumption that AI is going to replace a
No, never.
Most people have that assumption. They actually take the wrong jobs. And I think that's because of that's humans' natural reaction to things that they don't understand.
Yeah, so they don't understand.
That comes out. It's safer to think of the negative. What can you do to stop this from happening? In reality, most people don't realize that AI is just going to be more of an assistant.
It's an assistant. Like you were talking, this example you gave us right now, that you would rather get to be operated by a robot than a human being. I think that's the extreme part of it. Ne? But the Industrial Revolution is here to assist the doctors with and their patients with maybe getting together. It's like the bridge. It's the bridge that is getting the patient and the doctor together.
Right, you know, because more than I'm not talking negatively about the health sector, but I've noticed or even some doctors when we qualify them using AI while studying. And what I've also noticed, and especially with the younger generation of doctors, when you consult a doctor, you find that they have a tablet or something. And then whenever you're telling them something, they are busy punching that on the tablet, looking for answers and looking for assistance from that. Yes, they tend to do that. And then while you're still busy telling the doctor, hey, I'm sick with this, they're punching whatever you're saying on the table.
But are you sure that they're looking for answers?
And then
you don't know this.
They call another doctor, hey, sleep with one doctor. And then they come back. Is a skilled doctor or what's happening. So for me, what I do, currently, my personal doctor, my health practitioner, is someone who's very, very old. That all time, you can't even walk properly. So I trust him more.
Because he's old.
Yes.
You can't be trusting someone because it's old.
You don't punch it on the table and then try to diagnose it.
You were saying that it's the younger doctor, right?
Yeah.
But it makes sense for the younger doctors to come and say, okay, let me ask another doctor a question.
Guys, this is why, this is what I believe in. This is what I also advise my people. Be a consistent patient to one person. You get to learn about how they work. They also get to learn about you. They know right now when I call them, if I call my doctor right now and say, I have this terrible headache, they already know because it's that relationship. So build that relationship and be consistent. Don't be a hopper or hooper and be hooping around. That's where you will come across such things whereby now a doctor will be doing something that you're not used to. Yeah. You get my point? Yes. So I feel like as humans right now, one of your goals when you're writing them down or you have written them down already, write down that you need to build there's a word for it, that beneficial relationship. Build beneficial relationship with the people around you. I think that must be one of the goals, because that way you get to work with the same people who know you and you understand how they work.
And one of the goals, and especially stepping into the year, is also take mental health into your own hands.
Yes.
Try to eat a healthy lifestyle. Try to have healthier habits. Try to eat healthy and all those things. Those things that we take for granted, they actually make a huge difference.
Yes, they definitely do.
Is going to actually turn out.
Exactly. And also, heard from about one of the doctors in an article where he claimed that one of the most important factors for longevity is actually the amount of muscle that someone has. Now, I'm not saying that someone should be, powerful like a bodybuilder. Yeah. But like it's necessary to have a good amount of muscle mass from really strengthening on a consistent basis. Actually, we were talking about the podcast about how we exercise 3 to 4 times a week. That's enough frequency, and I think
that's enough consistency.
And it should be the same thing because we even show that as people get older, the reason why they end up having these issues with their bones or being unable to, move their body and coordinate their body correctly is because they don't have enough muscle mass. Because enough muscle mass contributes to you being able to contract the tissue in the muscles, which allows you to move things. And obviously, as you get older, I think when it's after you reach 30, you naturally start losing like 3% of your muscle mass in a day, and that's 3% compounding. So you can see how, for example, now, so if you're not going to take exercise serious, you're like, you're not going to be able to walk for a long time. You still be independent, going to your 60s, 70s, and 90s. And obviously, you still want to be independent because obviously most people are generating the most amount of work around their 60s, 70s. So you actually want to have a good time so you can still travel, see your grandchildren and still have a great time. You want to be that person who's always carry around the wheelchair.
Talking about that, I was watching a movie yesterday, and then that movie it's a limited series actually. So there's a daughter and a mother relationship happening there. This daughter disappeared for some time, and then she came back. She wasn't aware that the mother was sick. She's got amnesia. So I'm looking at that woman. How they captured her role. She was supposed now to act like a very old woman. She's forgetting things. She's running after her daughter and everything. And I'm looking at her. I'm like, no, I don't want to go to that extent. So now I need to know what is it that I must do so that I don't grow to that extent.
I think it's just basic strength.
Yes, my point exactly. Body weight exercise because yes. So
and then also watching what you eat.
Watching what you eat, drinking water, minding your own business.
I know people that don't drink water.
People don't drink water.
Wake up in the morning and buy 2 liters of Coke.
Imagine coffee. I say coffee.
When someone is there, they pick up a cold drink or even alcohol.
Yes.
So water consumption is another.
It's very important. Yeah.
People should really And then also this whole thing, when you also looking for a life partner. If you find someone, this is how you do now.
And then now you picture them later.
The relationship, and then you get married. And after getting married, you have a couple of children. And then after that, you're no longer taking care of yourself now.
Imagine.
It's starting to go all in all directions. So I feel there is one thing that also makes me afraid of commitment. Will this person maintain how they look? Because I think that is also important. I need to keep being attracted to people. I need to keep being attracted to you. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge. Okay, you look like this, people married. So now that we are married 10 years into it, and then with children, now you no longer take care of yourself. You no longer even bath and groom and present yourself in the way that everything
I see that. Just to wrap it up, our topic for today, I feel like it's important. I know actually because I've been practicing this for quite some time now. It's very important to write your goals down. Don't just have goals, but write them down. Have short-term goals, medium-term goals, and long-term goals. That's you now giving yourself the deadlines to achieving your goals, and then now find a way to execute your goals.
Yeah, that is extremely important. And what I always say also is that take initiative. Don't be afraid of knocking at the company and telling them your business idea. You need to do something challenging, do a difficult task every day. Contact that person, the top profile person, that entrepreneur who you feel is in the same industry and they can be a good mentor to you. Approach people, asking for help, taking action. I feel when we are thinking about our goals, we also need to make that part of it. On a daily basis, you need to engage yourself with a difficult task. On a daily basis, you need to contact the person. You need to ask for help from someone whom you know they're going to help you progress, or they're going to assist you in whatever endeavor or whatever thing you aspire.
Exactly. And behind every single successful person was a bunch of trials and tribulations that we never saw. You may see that guy with the Porsche, but you don't see the time
where did they start?
When he started to negotiate with people, when he got rejected by business,
rejection.